David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So, I was reading an article of my football team, the Sydney Swans, and they this weekend played the Geelong Cats. And the Sydney Swans and the Cats have been towards the top of the ladder. They've made finals pretty much every year for the last 20 years. They're probably two of the most consistently great teams in the AFL. And one of the Cats' old players, Cameron Mooney, was raving about the Swans as an organisation, just saying they're great, they're professional, there's just good people at the club. And then he said when he was playing for the Geelong Cats, he asked the guy in charge of recruiting all the players, how do you choose what player you want? And the recruiter said, we go for good people. We just try and get good people in. He's like, just say there's two players and one of them is a little bit more talented. He's a better player, but he's from a bad family and he's a little bit unstable. And there's another player who's a little bit less talented, not going to be as great as the other player, but he's from a good, strong family. He's a more stable person. We'll go for the stable, strong family, good person player every day of the week because they're going to create the culture of the club. They're going to be the guys that you depend on. And I'm like, fuck you, you fucking cunt. So the poor cunt, the poor fucking cunt that's grown up in a trash family, no fault of his own, fucking surrounded by heroin addicts, decides like, I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to play footy and I'm going to be the best footy player I can be. He's a little bit tweaked out because he's surrounded by fucking nutcases, but he becomes elite, a superstar fucking footy player in the juniors or whatever. He also is going to get penalised for his family by the clubs. So the cunt who's got less chance of making it just because of his situation, even if he fucking becomes as good as you need to be, he has to be better. He has to be even better than the fucking player that comes from the good family. He has to be like exponentially better just to get a fucking run at these clubs. So you're just overcoming things all the way down the fucking line. Shit family, shit school. And that's another thing. In the AFL, the Australian Football League, like 80% of the players are from private schools. I was thinking about that because that's a big discrepancy. And it's the same in comedy. Like every single comedian that makes it to like headliner or big in Australia is a private school kid. Like fucking Jim Jeffries. Jeffrey Nugent. That's his real name. It's not Jim Jeffries. Don't be fooled by fucking Jim Jeffries. Jim Jeffries went to the most fucking exclusive private school in Sydney. He's silver spoon all the way up his fucking arse. And so I've pondered this for a long time because I knew the football thing and I saw the comedian thing and I was like, what's going on at these private schools that makes it so much more likely that you're going to be successful? And I used to think it was like the structure of the education. I thought maybe there's like a skew towards people who go to private school being smarter. I thought maybe it's the families and all of that might add a little bit to it. But I finally figured it out when Dave Rose, the comedian who is a friend of mine who comes and stays here a bit, he's a private school kid and we were talking about it and I finally figured it out. Private school kids are more willing to kiss ass than public school kids. Public school kids will tell you to fuck off to your face, burn it all down, destroy their career over something very minor. Like the most stubborn fucking self-destructive cunts in the entire world went to public school. Whereas most, if not all, the private school kids I've ever seen have in some way been ground down or conditioned to obey authority in some way and kiss fucking, just get their fucking tongue right inside the anus. Public school kids just won't do that. They won't listen to anything. Which is not necessarily a good thing. I think a little bit of kissing ass, maybe. I've never been able to do it in my entire life. That's why I'm sitting here yelling about this into the ether. That's the big difference I see in comedy between the people who have made some sort of career in Australia and the people that have just fucking tanked. There's no difference in funniness. The fucking dudes that are just fucking train wreck burnouts, they're probably funnier. They're a little bit less consistent, but they're killers. But they will not fucking under any circumstances play ball. No matter what you say to them, encourage them, help them out, they'll be like, fuck you. Whereas all the private school comedians that have sort of made it, they're all like timid, fucking hesitating, fucking ass-licking cunts. So when you are fucking born into a shit family, you're like fighting it all the way. Even if you're like gifted, you're fighting it. There's a AFL player who plays for the Richmond Tigers. His name's fucking Dustin Martin, Dusty. He actually lived with one of my friends for a little while. Anyway, Dusty is a public school kid. He's got fucking neck tattoos. His dad was a bikie. He's just a fucking wild man. But this guy is like beyond talented. And he was a loose cannon for fucking years. The Tigers stuck with him. They got mentors around him. They fucking nurtured him and matured him. And he kept fucking up. He was always fucking up. And then he fucking clicked. And this public school son of a bikie ended up winning 3 Norm Smith medals, which is probably the highest accolade medal you can fucking get in the AFL. It's the best player on ground in the grand final, the biggest game of the year. And he's won 3 of them, and no other cunt has won 3 of them. So, fuck you and your fucking good family shit. I tell you how many fucking grand finals Richmond Tigers would have won without the fucking son of a bikie? 0, you fucking cuck cunts. A listener of the podcast said to me today actually that since I started work, I've gone back to the anger levels of like my first year of sobriety. And I think she's right. Anyway, that'll fucking do it for tonight. And I'll see ya the fuck later.